She's thinking about you right now. Her eyes are fixed on her screen, her hands still, but her thoughts are tangled up in you. The man she ghosted. The one she ignored. The message she left unanswered. She checks her phone more than she'll admit. Reruns your old chats in her head. Watches your stories like a silent spectator. Keeps tabs on your world without ever stepping into it. She misses you, though her lips will never say it. Not because you're unworthy, but because she's been taught to guard her feelings like secrets. Her pride won't let her reach out. And your silence? That's the trigger she didn't expect. This video is going to tear that illusion apart. If you're exhausted from chasing women who only notice your worth once you disappear. If you're done decoding mixed signals, distant replies, and hot and cold behavior, then stick around. Because after this, her silence will mean something entirely different. You've been fed lies about love, about women, and about what real strength in a man truly is. They told you to open up, to wear your heart on your sleeve, to be emotionally available, until you became replaceable. They taught you that chasing her proves your love. But the truth? Effort without respect isn't love, it's surrender. And running after a woman who's drifting away isn't romance. It's fear in disguise. You weren't born to mold yourself to her moods. You're here to stand firm, with calm, with clarity, with a self-worth so solid that no cold shoulder can shake it. In this video, I'll break down exactly why she's gone distant, why her warmth vanished, and what you must do as a grounded, self-possessed man. Every truth I reveal here is a tool, sharpened for your mind. Use them and manipulation will lose all its power over you. That I promise. Why does she pull away? When her replies slow to a trickle, when her warmth fades into distance, when the vibe shifts and she suddenly feels unreachable, your gut might tell you she's lost interest. That maybe there's someone else. That maybe you did something wrong. But the truth? It runs deeper. And most men never see it. It's not always that she doesn't care. Sometimes it's that she cares too much. More than she knows how to handle. And that feeling terrifies her. Because for her, caring means risk. And risk means vulnerability. And vulnerability means handing emotional power to a man, something the world has warned her never to do. So her fear becomes distance. That distance becomes silence. And that silence? It leaves you confused. She didn't go quiet because she forgot about you. She went quiet because she can't stop thinking about you. She replays the last thing you said. Analyzes every word, every emoji, every pause. Wonders if she came on too strong, or not strong enough. But she won't reach out. Not because she's over it, but because her pride shouts louder than her desire. And right now, pride is the only thing she thinks is protecting her heart. She tells herself if he really cared, he'd message first. But at the same time, she's aching to hear from you. That's the battlefield, her heart pulling one way, her ego pulling the other. Emotion versus pride. And neither side is backing down. You've got to look past the surface. Yes, women feel deeply. But don't mistake that for recklessness. They're strategic with their emotions. Masterfully so. Right now, she could be lying in bed, phone in hand. Your name glowing at the top of her chat list. Her thumb hovers. She taps. Types, hey. Pauses. Backspaces. Types, I miss you. Pauses again. Deletes it all. Nothing gets sent. Frustrated, she tosses her phone aside. Not angry at you, but angry at herself. Angry that part of her wants to cave. Wants to break the silence. Wants to be the first to reach out. But in her mind, that means losing. That means giving you the upper hand. And even if she cares deeply, especially because she does, she sees that as a dangerous move. You think she's gone cold. But in truth, she's fighting the urge to chase what she's afraid to lose control of. She's not ignoring you. She's testing her own resolve. She's trying to win a game she never openly admitted she was playing. So what does she do? She uploads that polished selfie. She posts a quote about strength and independence. She steps out with friends, then makes sure the world sees it. Every post, every caption, every story, it's curated for you. To make you think she's thriving. That she's glowing without you. That she's completely unfazed. But underneath that calm exterior is a woman quietly hoping you notice. That you're watching. That you feel her missing the way she feels yours. And here's what you need to understand as a man. This isn't manipulation. It's conditioning. It's the emotional code she's been taught for generations. That chasing a man leads to rejection. That showing too much means being overlooked. So even when her heart is screaming to reach out, her fear of seeming desperate shuts her down. Not because she doesn't care, but because she cares too much to risk appearing weak. So she puts on the show, acts unbothered. But the more she tries to look unaffected, the more it reveals just how much she is. And that's what most men never see. You sit there trying to interpret her moves. Was that caption about you? Is she angry? Has she really moved on? But the truth? The power isn't in your reaction. It's in your restraint. Because the less you chase, the more she feels the weight of your silence. And that quiet? It speaks louder than any message ever could. The less you try to fix it, the louder your presence echoes in her mind. She doesn't miss you when you're chasing. She misses you when you disappear. She doesn't dwell on you when you're trying to win her back. She thinks about you when you're silent and still look like you're living well. Here's what you need to know. She'll lie to herself long before she ever admits the truth to you. She'll tell her friends she's fine. She'll convince herself she's over it. But every time she scrolls past your profile, every glance at your name in her inbox, every time she picks up her phone and talks herself out of reaching out, that's the truth. And the more you matter, the more she distances herself. Not because your presence is weak, but because it's too strong. You've become the man whose silence shakes her confidence. The one whose absence gets under her skin. So when she pulls away, don't flinch, don't chase, don't overanalyze. Stand your ground. Because sometimes the woman who acts the coldest is the one trying the hardest not to fall apart. And the man who understands that never needs to beg for clarity. The more you hold your ground in silence, the more she quietly begins to respect you. Because while she speaks through absence, you speak through restraint. And your self-control? That's your power. That's your masculinity in motion. What's happening inside her isn't logic, it's a storm. A battle not between right and wrong, but between feeling and fear. And as a man, you're not on that battlefield. You're the reason it exists. Her silence, her distance, the short replies, they make you feel pushed away. You assume she's detached. Over it. Done. But inside her, it's far from calm. There's tension. Conflict. One part of her wants to text you. To break the silence. To say, I miss you. I hate this distance. I wish things were different. But that voice is fragile. And it's fighting against a wall built by pride. A voice in her head that says, don't be the one who gives in. Don't look weak. Her ego, sharp, guarded, relentless, becomes the gatekeeper. Not because you don't matter, but because you do. And the more she feels, the harder she hides. Her ego doesn't just speak, it takes charge. It tells her texting you first means defeat. That missing you makes her weak. That showing emotion gives you leverage. She's not thinking about how much you matter. She's thinking about how much control she might lose if she shows it. Her mind says, break the silence and you lose power. And in her world, power is protection. So she buries what she feels, even when it's screaming. The truth? The deeper she cares, the harder her ego fights. Because caring gives you power. That's why she tests your silence with her own. Every time you don't reach out, she notices. Every day you don't fold, she questions herself. But she won't show it. She won't post about missing you. She won't reveal the panic. Instead, she doubles down. Acts unfazed. Flirts. Projects strength. Not because she's over you, but because deep down she's afraid you now hold the upper hand. That your silence isn't a tactic. That you've stopped waiting. That you've started letting go. And here's what every man needs to understand. When you chase her during this standoff, you don't win her heart. You feed her ego. You prove her strategy works. You hand her control. And the more you chase, the more she pulls back. Not because she doesn't care, but because your pursuit makes her feel like she's won. But when you don't chase, when you stay calm, grounded, steady, something shifts. Her wall starts to crack. Not because you played games, but because you didn't let her play you. Your emotional restraint becomes a mirror, one she didn't expect. And suddenly she's the one questioning everything. Why isn't he chasing? Did I misread this? Is he over me? That doubt? It's your quiet power. When her ego stops feeding off your effort, her emotions start speaking louder. What if I messed up? What if I pushed him away? What if he's really gone? Now the roles flip. She's no longer the one being chased. She's the one looking for answers, for reassurance, for a sign that it's not too late. And then it comes. That unexpected message. Hey, how have you been? Did you see what I posted? It's not random. It's a white flag. A quiet surrender from a battle her ego can't keep winning. But this only happens if you stay composed. Not if you break. Not if you send paragraphs demanding answers. Not if you react out of emotion. She has to lose that inner war on her own. You can't save her from it. And you can't let it drag you down with her. You have to be the observer. Not passive, just steady. Not cold, just unmoved. That's real stoicism in relationships. It's not about pretending not to care. It's about valuing yourself so much that someone else's emotional swings don't shake your ground. Here's what matters. Women respect men they can't control emotionally. You think silence will make her forget you. But in reality, silence makes her feel you. Because silence cuts deeper. When she's used to attention, used to being chased, used to men folding first, your calmness, it breaks the script and forces her to face the weight of her own silence. And suddenly the roles flip. She's the one who feels the pressure to act. Not because you played a game, but because you chose self-respect over needing her attention. There's a silent battlefield most men never notice. They walk in blind. They react. They fall for a pattern they didn't even know existed. But not you. Not anymore. Because now you see it. Behind every "I don't care" is a woman who does more than she's willing to admit. She's been conditioned to wait. You were conditioned to chase. And somewhere along the way you were both set up to lose. Long before feelings got involved. Long before your first good morning text. She was handed a script. If he wants you, he'll chase. And if he stops, he never cared. She heard it in rom-coms, pop lyrics from her friends, her older cousins, every quote that celebrated silence as strength, but never honesty as courage. So now she believes silence gives her power. That the right man will keep proving himself, even if she gives nothing back but distance. But here's what she was never told. When a man keeps chasing a woman who pulls away, she doesn't respect him more. She starts to lose respect. Because without reciprocity, effort doesn't look like devotion. It starts to look like desperation. Desperation, through her eyes, isn't attractive. Not because she's cold. Not because she doesn't crave love. But because deep down, her instincts equate effort without boundaries to weakness. And weakness in a man? It triggers something even she can't explain. Disgust. Not out of cruelty, but because it signals instability. It tells her you want her more than you value yourself. You were taught to prove yourself. To go the extra mile. To make her feel special. To send flowers when she pulled back. To text more when she texted less. To explain. Apologize. Win her over. You thought that made you romantic. To her, it made you forgettable. And yeah, that stings. But it's the truth you need. Because the world gave you a love playbook that only works in mutual maturity. But modern dating? It's a battlefield. Where attention is currency. And validation is tossed around like poker chips. Your old school effort? It's not the solution. It's the losing hand. She doesn't want more effort. She wants your absence to mean something. She wants to know how it feels to be without you. To sit in silence and wonder if she misplayed her hand. She wants to feel your worth. Not through constant presence, but through the strength it takes to withhold it when it's not deserved. When you chase a woman who's purposely pulling back, you send a silent message. My value is flexible. And once she believes that, it's hard to undo. Because now she knows. If she pulls away, you'll lean in. If she withholds, you'll overcompensate. If she turns cold, you'll chase warmth. And just like that, the balance shifts. You lose power. Not just in the dynamic, but in how you see yourself. You weren't born to beg for love. You're not here to prove your worth on repeat. A man who knows what he brings to the table never pleads for a seat. Because real men don't chase what disrespects them. They walk away calmly. And they don't look back. Because here's the deeper truth. The kind of woman truly worthy of your love won't make you chase her through silence. She'll show effort. She'll reach out. She'll match your energy without making it a game. And if she doesn't, every text you send after her silence isn't love. It's self-abandonment. So when she goes quiet and you feel the itch to check in, to send a soft, "Hey, how are you?" just to stay on her radar, know this, you're being tested. She's watching to see how much you respect yourself. And the moment you break that silence just to feel seen, You lose more than pride. You lose position. Not because she hates you, but because she now knows she can steer your emotions. And women don't fall for men they can control. But if you hold your ground, if you stay still while she waits for your reaction, you flip the script. You become the exception. The man who doesn't beg for attention, who doesn't flinch at emotional distance, who values peace over performance. And that's rare and unforgettable. And when she sees you're not playing the part she expected, that's when the shift begins. Curiosity becomes intrigue. Silence becomes guilt. And more often than not, that's when she circles back. If this message hit home even for a second, support this channel. Not just for me, but for the next man who's about to break himself, just to feel seen by someone who's no longer looking. Share this. Drop Stoic in the comments. Join the brotherhood of men who don't chase. They lead. They grow. They rise. This is how we spread the truth to those who need it most. Subscribe. Because every week I drop real tools, raw wisdom, and mindset upgrades to help you become untouchable. In love, in life, in mind. You want clarity? Start here and never look back.